to get on, you guys. I'm so excited for you guys to be here with me. This is my first show. I'm actually what you call very nervous, and I'm just here for us to just have some fun. What I'm doing with this show is I just want to promote people. I want to promote people's brands. I want to see what people are doing out there, what they, want to offer the people. So I'm really, oh, there we go. We have it. We have made it. Okay. How are you?
I am well. And yourself?
Yes. I'm good. I'm good. Thank you for being the first guest on the Please Don't Irk Me show. I am so excited that you are here and we're doing this because you are a superstar. Literally a whole superstar.
Oh, really? Huh.
You are. I mean, you be singing very well. You be holding it down
Oh.
with the vocals and all that. How we feeling mentally? How's life and all that good stuff?
So life has been good. I have one thing that I say, for every positive, there's a negative,
Mm-hmm.
and
Right.
for every negative, there's a positive.
Uh-huh.
And one thing that's been helping me lately is to anticipate the positive.
Okay, I'm here for that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
how is that working out? Is it working in your favor, or is it we're up and
Oh,
down,
so
or like what's happening?
so I'm gonna just put a little bit of my business out.
Okay.
I ended a 19-year marriage, right?
Oh,
Was that too
you were
heavy?
married for 19 years?
I was married technically on paper for 19 years. To a woman.
Oh my god. Okay, okay. We're starting off. Okay. If anybody knows, this episode is called Unfiltered. Okay. This is Unfiltered episode, and I was number one. But 19
Mhm.
years. So what happened?
He's like, wait, what?
No, because you said you were married for 19 years. That's wild. And so
Yeah.
when did it end?
Um, Glory be to God. It ended like 2 months ago.
Okay.
I'm serious. Glory be unto God. It ended about 2 months ago.
Okay.
Um,
That's like fresh. So were you guys separated for some time or were you
oh
guys like
yeah,
what?
yeah. We were separated for some time. I don't want to throw any, shit on no one's name, but
Right.
it could have been done. But people like to,
Oh.
play games but you
Did you
know.
have to send in the papers using somebody else like, hey, you have been served? What did that have
So
to happen?
believe it, in California, you have to do that regardless. So like, I
Oh.
can't,
Oh,
I
okay.
can't just walk up to her and be like, here be, we
Oh.
still, you have to have a third party serve, regardless in California. But that's
Even
when I
if both of you guys
really,
agree?
yeah.
Oh.
Well, this is where it got tricky because face to face, things would be agreed on, but then when we would leave each other's presence, there's a whole nother situation taking place.
Oh.
Yeah, but that's in the midst of all of that is when I learned to anticipate the positive in the midst of the negative. I refuse to allow that to dominate my life. Um, and like, so I had this going on. If I told you when it started and how long it was going on, you would be like, damn. But I refuse to let that dominate my headspace, my spirit, and my energy. And I just continue. I moved on to a place of happiness and peace. And um,
Well, can I ask this? Did it get messy with the divorce, or was it pretty
so
peaceful, or was it like good, or like how
let me
how's it?
rip this band-aid off. Okay, so I'm gonna rip the band-aid off. At first it was real amicable. It was like, peace be with you. No, peace be with you. Right? at,
I want nothing but the best for you,
at
and
first.
nothing but the best.
Right. At first it was like, may his peace be with you. Right?
See?
Then some time goes on and they find out I'm gay. And they're
Oh,
like, oh, so this is what you were doing. I was like, no, this is not what I was doing. This is what I'm doing now. You know? then it turns into a whole, oh. And then, so now they want retribution for where their mind is taking them. what happens, things that never happened, but their mind is telling them certain things have happened, and they can't let it go. And
Yo, we only like
wait,
5 minutes
wait,
into this show,
I
and
didn't mean to bring that up.
it is already going.
I didn't mean to bring that up. I really didn't mean to bring that
No,
up.
no, 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 no. I'm here for. I just never knew you were married for 19 years. I would have never knew that
Yeah.
because from the videos that you put out and things like that, I know that the community, the LGBTQIA community. So
Uh
I
huh.
never thought that you were actually married to a woman before. Not that you
Yeah.
give off like feminine energy or anything like that. It's just the
Oh
fact that like
yeah.
I never thought that that would have been something that would have come out of your mouth. Did
Yeah.
you guys have kids or no?
I have one child.
One child? Okay.
Yeah. Now I've
Oh,
raised like
okay.
10, but that's a whole nother story.
Well, we're definitely going to get into some bestie talk for
Okay.
sure. So,
Okay.
what is your brand, and tell us
Okay.
about it.
Okay. So my brand is the Walk Be Connection. So if you see me
Okay.
on YouTube, um, if you see me on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, even here on TikTok, I have
Mm-hmm.
a Walk Be Connection. And pretty much what we do is we explore the connection to each other through connection to self.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So sometimes we do hot topics and we talk about hot topics, but we talk about it from a space of where was the disconnect?
Mm.
Or where did they get it right? And it's not that we have our shit together. Of course, we're of course outsiders looking in.
Right.
Um, but I started this because I realized in Black culture there, and in a lot of ways, we're stuck in time warp. Some people are
Okay.
still in their floating 70s, 1970s. Some people want the
Mm-hmm.
90s back. But we developed the ideology that we want to push the culture forward one issue at a time. So it's
Okay.
taking an issue and then just pushing that issue. One thing we're exploring now is it safe to return to church? You know, we got to be careful with our words.
Mm-hmm.
The whole pendulum that took place, and we all returned to church, but we're exploring the thought: is it safe yet? So sure, the disease may be gone, but other things have been exposed. One thing I'm gonna stand on is I think the church needs to go through a major sexual liberation, where we
Mm.
don't lie about sexuality, sexual orientation. Where we can actually respect and embrace polyamorous relationships because a lot of
Do
them
you
are in
think that's a
polygamy.
big do you think that's a big problem that's within the church right now? Is
Yeah.
we're not talking about sexuality or sexual orientation and things like that. Do you think that's a
So
really big problem or that
y-
hinders the church like altogether?
absolutely. So not just talking about it, but being real about it and being accepting of it. Okay.
Mm,
Accept a polyamorous relationship, but a lot of the relationships in your church are polyamorous. They are definitely
mm,
it's more than one person in this relationship. Why can't we just open the door and let her in or let him in?
mm. Now,
And
how would that kind of go with church? Because at the same time, you can't, there's certain things that you just can't do, you can't talk about, you can't, say and things like that.
mm-mm.
So, and then of course, when it comes to Christianity, there is obviously a black and white, there is right and wrong. So, like,
Right, right.
how do we try to, I guess, incorporate that into the Word of God when people are going to say something like, well, somebody just commented Money Inc. He said, "What Bible you gonna use?" But it's like what
So
is going to
mhm.
be like the deciding factor because
I hate to
people just be
say
like,
this.
"That's not God." Oh, nope.
I hate to say this, and I've been excommunicated from some conversations for this. I think you should sit down with your group of people that you pastor and worship with, and y'all choose which parts of the Bible y'all agree with and don't agree with, and decide which parts y'all gonna ignore, because that's what we do anyway. We if we think women should preach, we go in there and pick out scriptures that okay with women's preachers, and if we don't think women should be allowed to preach, we go pick those scriptures out. When we don't like gay people, we just go pick out just those. And we don't go get the whole thing because ain't none of us do. Nowadays, because you eating shrimp and you mixing fabrics, that right there is sin. Hell. Uh,
Seafood.
Right. Jeans, hell.
Shellfish.
um,
Polyester. Hey, gotta go.
right, rayon. It looked like silk, but it ain't. So it's a lie. Double hell. No, no. um,
Don't go to the
um,
fish fry,
right.
okay?
I'm just saying, like, I think that a lot of times we focus on trying to be biblical when we
Mhm.
don't realize that this is a book that was written over 2,000 years ago. I'm not saying we need to throw it away and do away with it, but we need to
Right.
use it for what it was. It's the
Let's
foundation.
get right into the unfilteredness. What happened
Okay.
to you with church? So at one point you were a pastor, or one point you
hmm
were a minister, or did you have your own church, or like what was happening?
I was a senior pastor of a church for 15, 16 years.
Oh my lord. Y'all, okay, first he tells me he was married for 19 years. Never knew that whatsoever. Not that it was my business, but I
To
never
a
knew
woman.
that. To a lady. Treat her like a lady. And then he tells me he pastored for 15 years. This is just wild. So you pastored for 15 years. So
hmm
what happened? So you left the church?
Yeah, eventually I just left the church. So, going all the way back to when everything started. I started pastoring at 21. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, young. But I knew I loved God. I knew I wanted to live for God. I wanted to be connected with God. So I got in church. I started learning the hierarchy in church, churchanese, church doctrine, this, that, and the fifth. I started preaching. I was a pretty good preacher. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I wasn't the best, but I'm definitely better than a lot of this stuff that be
Going around
floating
today.
around. Right, right. If I went viral, it would have been
It's
because I said
gibberish.
something good. Right.
Right.
It would have been because I said something good, not because I was spitting in my hand and rubbing it on somebody's face. Like
Right.
we don't do those. Um, I started at 21, and so I knew I loved God and everything, but I knew I also had this sexual thing in my past, and so I went to a mentor, and I was talking to a mentor, and I'm from the Church of God in Christ, and he
If you
prayed
got a
for
cash.
this. He prayed for me. We spoke in at least 4 different tongues. We fasted. He was like, "You're delivered," and I was like, "Okay, delivered." And he told me, "You don't bring it up no more. Don't tell nobody." Blah 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 blah. So I meet this young lady. I believe I fall in love with her. I did absolutely fall in love with her. I love the hell out of that woman. But I don't care how much you love somebody, they're not gonna change who you are at your core.
Mm-hmm.
And but I don't mean like a piece of like if you are. Is it okay if I cuss a little bit or
Absolutely, go ahead.
okay? Because I know you love the Lord, and I'm.
And he heard my cry. My
Right, right, right. I'm over here editing myself, but I knew at my core, I like men,
hmm
but I thought God had uprooted that out of me, and I thought I was really delivered because of the. I mean, they. Mhm.
When you said "I do" to your ex-wife,
Uh-huh.
was it then that you knew that you were gay, or you were just like, "We're I know that I am," or we're just going to kind of just work through it to see kind of what happens?
So this is me being honest. I thought I was delivered. I thought I was delivered, but what happened was I had allowed those around me to talk me into suppression, into a mental, I'm gonna call it a mental psychosis, where I was kind of just like I I was ignoring a part of who I am.
hmm
Um, you know, and then when it would peak its head, we would call it the devil. The enemy is trying, the enemy is busy. Oh, the blood of Jesus. Y'all pray for me. The enemy has me struggling, and la 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 la. We that churchanese or whatever.
Yes.
Um, what happened was she left. My ex-wife left me. She's like, I can't do this anymore. I want to be clear.
Yes.
I want to be clear. I never cheated on my ex-wife.
Okay.
However, I could not be with her like a straight man is with a woman
hmm
because I'm not straight. I know that now because I've been with a man. So
hmm
like I know. when you want what you want and it's there, it's a total different vibe when this is just here and this is what I'm supposed to do. It's a whole
Mhm.
nother vibe. But am I making sense?
You are totally making sense.
Okay, okay. Years later, she said, I can't do this anymore because I was putting the church before the family. Because the
Oh,
church was an income maker. The church, as long as my name was clean, I didn't have no scandals or nothing on my name, it was really a way for us to maneuver and make a pretty decent life for ourselves. She was in so many words like, I can't do this anymore. I want to move on in other ways, other things. So eventually, she decided she wanted to leave, which is fine. At first I was mad at her, but then I was like, okay. When she
when was
left,
that? Was that some time ago, or was that just? I mean,
that was
I know.
2017.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, so not too long ago, but not yesterday either. You know.
Hmm.
So 2017, January 1st, 2017, she left.
Lord, not the time of the
Literally.
year.
So this is no funny story. I came home 2 weeks before Christmas. She was like, "Your daughter and I are moving out on the 1st of January." Your daughter and I are moving out on the
Not
first of
this being
January.
planned.
Right, right. So at first I was like, "What?" I felt like, but then after she left, I had all of this time to myself to think and to steep in my own feelings, face myself, tell myself the truth. And I don't some when I tell this, people will be like, the devil was right there waiting to pounce. No, like people started coming at me, and I was like, wait a minute, I remember these feelings. Like, you're cute. And wait, you want to holler at me? Because at first I went through that whole little like, oh really? You sure you're talking to me type bit?
Hmm.
And then anyway, once I realized that, because she after a while she wanted to get back together, but once I realized that I was not gonna go another 20, 30 years without Peen, I told her that we have to divorce. There's no returning. And at that moment I told her exactly what was going on. I was like, so I realized that I like men and women at the time, because I thought I was bisexual. Come to find out in
Bisexual.
retrospect, it's just easier to say bisexual first. Um, I was like, I like women and men. And until I'm able to be fully committed to a woman, I don't want to get back with you. So we began to pray that the Lord that the
Again,
Lord
okay.
would deliver me again.
We prayed. We prayed in the beginning. We're gonna pray at the end. Amen. Full
till,
circle.
till finally I was like, I'm not doing this no more. Fuck this. I like men. And so
I can't pray with you every night. I can't do it. I can't do it no more.
And so I was still pastoring the church. I had come out to my senior leadership team. And so my whole senior leadership team knew what it was. They just requested that I just don't be
Oh, harmful.
harmful.
Okay.
Have some ethics, don't be just, don't be running through the church members, definitely. And
I would hope not. Not
right,
a wolf in sheep clothing.
right. We went through that. And at the time, honestly, I was too scared to sleep with a man anyway. So there was none of that. But then after a while, I wanted to heal. So I closed my church down and I went and led worship at another church. Initially, I just went because I wanted to heal.
Hmm.
But they were like, we can't have you here and you not do something. You have all those gifts. And I was like, okay, I'll help with the music.
Hmm.
Now, help with the music don't mean I'm doing the music. It means that I'll
Right
do
now.
what? Help
Yeah.
with the music. Somehow I ended up
Listen to this
doing.
part. This is your part. Boom, boom, boom. All right,
Right.
I'm going home. Okay, it was great. It was wonderful.
I ended up doing the music, and then it ended up turning into somebody found out I was gay, and then it turned into a big old
How somebody found out?
because I was on the internet talking about it.
Oh Lord.
But I
Not
wanted.
not you say yourself. Not you say your own self up. You can't blame that on the devil.
No, I'm not blaming. So I don't blame any of that on the devil.
Mhm.
What I do blame is I don't blame the devil for any of that. I blame
Mhm.
messy people a lot of times for the way they do things. So I went to them after that. I tried to set up some type of accountability because at the time I still believed that a person could be delivered. I do now no longer believe that. I have been delivered from that thought.
So you don't think somebody can be delivered
No.
from homosexuality or lesbianism?
Mm-mm. I think they can suppress it,
Okay.
but it's there.
What made you come to that conclusion to say that, because some people that they might be on, they'll be like, well, you don't believe the power of God. Like, what do you
Yeah.
what do you say about that?
When they be like, "You don't believe the power of God," I be like, "Man, shut up." No, I
I
tell
really
them. You,
believe. It's
see,
like I believe, but I don't know. But I do believe, but I don't
my
know.
my mama be saying that God can do anything. I'm like, girl, please. We still waiting on God to do shit. I'm just playing. I'm just playing with that. But
Just to be clear.
when you don't believe the power of God, I do believe the power of God. I also believe that He knew what He was doing when He made me, right? Um, and it's not a denial of Christ for me to accept who I am.
Mhm.
You know, what I realize is that culture has a lot to do with religion, and religion oftentimes lingers behind culture.
Mm.
I get flack for saying this. If you just go back on YouTube, maybe 70 years, the things that they're saying about gay people now, they were saying about black people then. They were talking about how the world wants them to accept black preachers, wants them to accept black evangelists. And you would hear the white are clear friends stating,
Mm.
unapologetically that they would not be under a black pastor and black leadership, X, Y, and Z. And would go find scriptures to, substantiate that.
Mhm.
And so here we are now. Culture is at another level of awakening. Culture then was waking up to the fact that black people were actually people and could be anointed of God and
Mhm.
so forth and so on. And I think right now we're at the precipice of another awakening.
Hmm.
Gay
I mean,
people can be.
I honestly do believe that
Hmm.
that people can struggle with things, and I really do believe that there are a lot of people who take a lot of scriptures and say like
Yeah.
I'll take this one, I'll take this one,
Hmm.
but at the end of the day, we're all still going to sin. I mean, of course, we don't want to at the same time, but
I want to. No, I'm not gonna lie. I be wanting to sin. I do
why you want to sin?
because it's fun and it feels good.
I'm screaming.
What?
At least you tell the truth. At least you tell the truth. Because I mean, there are some times where I'm just like, I know I'm not supposed to be doing this, but it's going to be so much fun.
There it is. There it is.
So, quick question: who
Uh
were the
huh.
people who were talking about you? I know you put out like a couple videos where you said that like you were setting some people straight, saying like, don't put no crap on my name. Who were
Oh.
those people?
Okay. So
Y'all, I'm
Apostle
sorry.
Dolores Chapman.
We're being messy. Sorry, we're being unfiltered. Go ahead.
Apostle Dolores Chapman from Hemet, California. Goddamn it.